This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm standing on historic ground. Atlanta's first city hall stood here in 1853, 1883, used jointly by Fulton County courts. Historic grounds I'm standing on, and on these historic grounds, the Capitol building, with all of its monuments and its vows. I want to talk about the black mayors in the state of Georgia, how they are being ignored by the news media, perhaps even the civil rights and women's rights organizations. We want to draw Governor Nathan Deal, Attorney Sam Ozen, to the problems that black mayors are having in the state of Georgia. And it seems as if though they must walk down this road alone without counsel, because in many cases the attorneys for the city are working against them. And don't take my word for it. Ask these black mayors. Well, you may ask me, Mr. Rhymes, what mayors are you talking about? The Governor Nathan Deal may say he don't know nothing about what these newly elected black mayors are going through. Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp may not know what these black mayors are going through in the state of Georgia that were elected by Georgia voters. There's a great possibility that the Attorney General may not know what is happening on the historic grounds of the state of Georgia with black mayors. And I can understand you not knowing. But after this video is published, not to mention the others that I've sent your way, but after this one you will know about it. So the people in these cities are asking the governor of the state of Georgia, Georgia General Assembly, and GMA, why haven't somebody stepped up to address the issue, the real issue? Why? Georgia mayors are going through this. Now, let's go down to the south of the South. In Quitman, Georgia, James C. Brown III was elected the first mayor under that type of government in Quitman, Georgia. He has a story to tell. So why don't the governor and those in leadership positions that love this state and respect voting rights, and those who elected the public office, why don't you give them a call? The mayor in Meigs, Georgia, who were arrested last Saturday for, according to a 33 former serving police chief in Meigs, said they got her based upon nothing. This same mayor in Meigs was stripped of her powers, moved from her office to another office. Then at Monday night scheduled council meeting that was diverted and rescheduled for Monday without the mayor even knowing about it, with 80 people standing on the outside thinking that there would be a council meeting, but it had been changed or postponed by people that the general public don't even know about. Now, you will see what I'm saying on Boston G.B.R. playlist for Meigs, Georgia. That's M-E-I-G-S playlist. Google it. There's no need of me going all in depth for that, because I've laid it out so clear that even Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles can understand it. So why have not Atlanta Journal and Constitution? Why have not CNN, MSNBC with our beautiful brother Al Sharpton? Why have they not addressed these issues? Why is it that a little social media guy got to report this to the American people? Wait a minute. Wait, I haven't finished yet. Let's go up a little further to Dawson, Georgia, wherein a 24-year-old black mayor was elected to office by the voters of that city. But he was shot 6 times. His mother was pistol whipped and the mayor was left outside on the ground. The neighbor came over after hearing the gunshots, and he went inside, and of course that's when he found his mom had been pistol whipped. I walked the streets in Dawson, Georgia. I interviewed people in Dawson, Georgia. I talked to the current president of the NAACP in Dawson, Georgia. I interviewed him along with others, and you can see it all on Dawson, Georgia playlist. There's no need of me going further. But what has the governor, what has the Secretary of State, what has Georgia Attorney General, what have Eric Holder of the Justice Department, if he can get involved, what has been done in that little time? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. In Quitman, the people of Quitman think and have told me that they are saying, why is Quitman like that, and why are they treating the mayor in that degree, to that degree? So they think they are alone. The people in Meigs are asking the same question. They think that they are just alone. They don't know about Quitman, okay? And so in Dawson, Georgia, as I walk the street, they are asking the same questions about why people are fighting that mayor. So they think that they are alone, and the news media in Atlanta, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, these big-time news outlets with millions of dollars, I suppose, haven't addressed that issue. And so the people in Dawson, Georgia, don't know about Quitman, don't know about Meigs, so they all think that they are fighting separate battles because the word is not getting out. But look, I haven't finished yet. In Terrell, Georgia, George Ivey, I think his name, the mayor up there, having the same problems. And I'm sure that they believe that it's just them, because they probably don't know nothing about what's happening in Quitman. They don't know what's happening in Meigs. They don't know what's happening in Dawson. And so, because we don't have a news media that are concerned about the right to vote in the state of Georgia, and after the people vote, a right to take office and be respected in that office, just like whites did for hundreds of years. Can you believe it? The land of the free, the home of the brave, the peach state of Georgia. Haven't finished yet. Then here comes Gordon, Georgia. A Mary Ann Whippaloo. She too are going through things that I believe is almost worse than any of those cities that I just mentioned. So I went over and I interviewed her, and I couldn't believe the way they are treating this female mayor. But then again, I guess who really cares anymore? As long as black people can continue to fight these wars and be disrespected and say thank you in the process, little to nothing will change. So why, George Boston Rhines, are you doing what you're doing? It is because When I wore the uniform during the Vietnam era, I took an oath and obligation to defend this country from both foreign and domestic enemies. Yes, sir. And so although I'm out of the military, I still believe I have a responsibility. I have a duty, not only to the people of Georgia and the United States of America, but to my own children, grandchildren, and coming generations, to make sure or to help ensure that they will not have to fight like my grandparents and my great-great-great-grandparents just to get a drink of water at a water fountain. And even then they told us it's not about race. They told us to just forget about it and move on. They told us that you are happy, you are satisfied by being a slave, as Mr. Clevie Bundy said in Nevada, a cattle rancher. And many people should praise and thank that white European man for making that statement that blacks would be better under slavery, because he at least was honest from what was in his heart. In other words, see, he didn't do and say what he wanted to say. See, the God of our ancestors made him, I believe, to speak those words. So not only the state of Georgia, the state of Nevada, but so all states in the United States and people around the world could see just what a real democracy looked like. God wants to show the world just what kind of country we are living in. You see, the God of our salvation said, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap. That same God also said, I have no respecter of persons. I reign on the just as well as the unjust. So when he said, what I say unto one, I say unto all, he meant what he said, and he said what he meant. It's just that simple. Now, so the question in conclusion is this: what will the governor of the state of Georgia do about these elected officials of black American descent, the former ancestors and children of slaves? What will he say about them being denied the right to act in the position as mayor without the confrontation and without the support from law enforcement officers when they call for order in city council meetings, or when people just get up and walk out of the council meeting without the meeting being adjourned? What will Governor Nathan Deal, what will Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp, what will Georgia Attorney General, what will the General Assembly in the state of Georgia say, what will CNN, what will Fox News, what will the black newspapers say? Or will we sit by and bear it and continue? Let me repeat. Or should we continue to bury our head in the sand like the legend concerning the ostrich bird and pretend that we are a peachy state of Georgia? Let me repeat. Should we continue to pretend that we're the peachy state of Georgia and all of our peaches are rotten? Well, this is what we are saying on historic ground. Every inch of ground in Georgia is historic. And if we can't stand up for voting rights and the Quitman 10+2, getting a fair trial in a timely manner, being judged by a jury of their peers and not a majority white jury, or a jury, or an all-white jury, or a majority jury in a city with a population of 65% black. When have you ever seen a majority black jury in Brooks County? Better yet, when have you seen an all-black jury anywhere? Now really, when have you ever seen a white person tried under a majority black jury or a all-black jury? That's just a question. Look at the judges on the Southern judiciary. Look at the judges on the Southern judiciary and ask yourself a question. Is it